When terrorists kidnapped the world's most powerful CEO, they never expected who would come after them. The desert stretched endlessly under a merciless sun. Somewhere, hidden deep inside the unforgiving mountain range, was Samantha Wren, CEO of Helios International, the woman whose disappearance sent shockwaves through the global business world. But Samantha was not just a CEO, she was a target. Her convoy had been intercepted 72 hours ago. An ambush, fast and surgical, leaving no witnesses. Black SUVs, burned and abandoned. Blood trails on desert rocks. No demands, no claims of responsibility. Nothing. At Helios HQ, panic spread like wildfire. Investors threatened collapse. The press speculated endlessly. But behind locked doors, a truth far more terrifying unfolded. This wasn't random. It was an orchestrated strike. Inside a covert operations room in Manhattan, Nathan Cole studied grainy satellite images. He wasn't just Samantha's former security chief. He was the only man alive who understood who took her and why, and he was going to bring her back. Nathan's hands hovered over the digital map. Red markers pulsed across the border zone. Intelligence chatter indicated the target's location, but accuracy was thin. Samantha could be anywhere. Every hour wasted was a step closer to losing her forever. "You know they'll kill her, Nathan." Elena Pierce, Helios's head of internal intelligence, broke the silence. Her voice was steady, but her eyes betrayed fear. Nathan nodded. He knew. No ransom, no proof of life, no negotiation. This wasn't about money. It was about power. He activated the comms unit. "Assemble the team. Full Black Ops protocol. We move in 36 hours. Across continents, calls went out. Operatives emerged from shadows. Former special forces, mercenaries, cyber warfare experts, each one chosen not for loyalty but for ruthlessness. Because this wasn't a rescue, this was a war. In a dark cell carved from stone, Samantha sat motionless. Her wrists bore deep lacerations, her face battered, her breathing slow and calculated, but her mind sharper than ever. She had counted every step of every guard, mapped the turns from her cell to the loading bay by scent, by airflow, every shift change, every weak guard, every forgotten blind spot. Her captors thought she was broken, but they didn't know Samantha Wren. Before Helios, she trained for this. Before she commanded empires, she learned how to survive. When the time came, they wouldn't be ready, and time was almost up. The desert night was cold, silent, and full of death. At the forward staging point near the border, Nathan Cole stood in full tactical gear, staring into the black horizon. He wasn't thinking about logistics. He wasn't thinking about the mission report Helios's board would demand. His mind was singularly focused. Samantha was somewhere inside that mountain, and nothing would stop him from bringing her back. Behind him, the extraction team readied for war. Leon knelt beside the dusty, armored SUVs, reassembling her silenced rifle with surgical precision. Marcus quietly checked the blast caps on two shaped charges. Reyes, eyes sharp beneath his night vision goggles, calibrated the drone feeds showing the outer perimeter. No words were needed. They had done this before. Elena approached Nathan, her voice low. "You realize this place is a fortress." "I know. And you realize we might not get her out." Nathan turned to her, his expression pure steel. "That's why I'm going in." At 2300 hours, under the moonless sky, four shadows slipped into the darkness. Samantha Wren's wrists bled where the metal cuffs bit into her skin, but her mind was sharper than ever. She sat motionless in the corner of her stone cell, hearing the faint drip of water from somewhere above. Her guards believed she was beaten. They believed her to be another corporate executive awaiting ransom or rescue. They didn't know who she really was. Before Helios, before the boardrooms, Samantha had prepared for war zones, for espionage, for abductions. This cell wasn't her first cage. Every footstep, every guard shift, every sound in the tunnels was mapped inside her mind. She knew where they paused, when they lit cigarettes, who was lazy, who was afraid. The lock was old, mechanical. She memorized the clicks. The corridor beyond held 7 guards. Weakest shift changed at 0345 hours. She wasn't just waiting to be saved. She was waiting to kill. The mountain loomed ahead, jagged edges slicing the night sky. Nathan's team moved silently along the ravine. Leon led, disabling the first sensor grid. They slipped through, merging with the darkness. Reyes monitored the drone feed from the rear, whispering updates. 2 patrols, east side, standard AKs. "Copy," Nathan replied. At the secondary checkpoint, Marcus worked in silence, planting charges against the side entrance. Minutes felt like hours. Then it happened, an unexpected motion sensor, a hidden infrared tripwire. Red lights snapped to life. "Contact!" Reyes shouted. Gunfire exploded. Bullets tore through the night. Marcus detonated the breach. Steel doors disintegrated. Nathan barked orders over the comms. "Fall back! Reroute! Leon, cover left flank!" But it was too late. The fortress was awake, and the battle for Samantha had begun. Gunfire echoed down the steel tunnels as the mountain fortress roared to life. Alarms blared. Lights strobed red. Samantha, locked in her cell, understood immediately. This wasn't routine. This was war. She shifted position silently, her heartbeat steady. Somewhere beyond these walls, someone had come for her, or someone had come to finish the job. Either way, it was her signal. She dislocated her thumb. Pain shot through her wrist, but the manacle slid free. Blood dripped on the cold stone. The guard wouldn't expect her to move. That was his last mistake. When he entered for his midnight round, she struck. Faster than memory, harder than regret. His body hit the floor without a sound. She took his weapon. She was no longer waiting. She was escaping. Nathan's team pressed deeper into the mountain. Walls of rock pressed around them as bullets ricocheted off steel. Marcus detonated 2 charges to collapse side tunnels and control the fight's flow. "Push forward," Nathan ordered. Rifle raised. Leon covered the left flank, taking down guards as they tried to flank the team. Reyes fired precise shots, keeping pressure on the enemy from the rear. Every corner was death waiting. Every heartbeat felt stolen. Nathan's mind worked faster than adrenaline, calculating pathways through the fortress. Samantha had to be close. She had to be alive. Suddenly, Reyes' voice cracked through comms. "Movement ahead. Single heat signature." Nathan's breath caught. Samantha. In the dim corridor ahead, Samantha Wren emerged from shadow. Her face was bloodied. Her left hand clutched a stolen rifle. Her eyes burned. Behind her lay 7 dead guards. Nathan froze. She didn't lower the weapon. She didn't blink. Then recognition hit. She exhaled. Nathan stepped forward. "Come with me." For the first time in days, Samantha allowed herself to believe she might survive. But the fortress wasn't done. Sirens howled. Enemy reinforcements advanced from both sides, trapped. Marcus planted the last of the C4. Nathan whispered, "We're not here to escape. We're here to finish this." And he pressed the trigger. The explosion detonated with a sound like the earth itself tearing apart. From deep within the mountain's stone belly, steel shattered, tunnels collapsed, and pressure waves hurled debris through pitch-black corridors. Fire surged forward, devouring oxygen and light. And somewhere inside that inferno, Samantha Wren ran. Her body burned, her lungs clawed for air thick with dust and smoke. Each step felt like moving through cement. But her mind, though bruised, refused to break. She forced herself forward, one bloody footstep at a time. Behind her, she could hear it. The fortress itself dying. Ahead, hope. Nathan's voice crackled through the comms, distorted but sharp enough to cut through panic. "Move, Samantha, keep moving, left tunnel, left!" She stumbled, corrected. Each turn of the maze was seared into her mind. She remembered the maps. She remembered everything. That was why she was alive. Somewhere through the collapsing walls, Marcus's shotgun boomed. Ray shouted target locations. Liang, even wounded, kept suppressive fire steady as the entire compound imploded around them. Samantha had seen financial empires collapse. She'd never expected to run through the ruins of her own kidnapping. When Nathan's arm caught her, it wasn't relief she felt. It was fury. "Don't stop," he roared, dragging her as a section of ceiling crashed behind them. "Not here. Not now." "I'm not stopping," she screamed back. And she meant it. They ran. The labyrinth narrowed, forcing Nathan's team to single file. Samantha's legs betrayed her twice. Nathan pulled her up each time, her breath coming in sharp, panicked sobs, her vision blurring. At the emergency breach point, Marcus planted charges without speaking. Reyes' voice broke over comms. "They're cutting us off. Rear tunnel's gone. We're boxed." "We're not boxed," Nathan snarled. "We're getting out." Samantha's vision swam, but she saw Marcus's cold nod. She felt the vibration as the charges detonated, opening the final escape shaft. The blast punched dust and heat into the air. There was no time to think. They dove forward into the darkness. The firestorm consumed the tunnel behind them. The escape tunnel spat them out into the open desert night like broken, burning fragments of war. Samantha collapsed onto the sand, coughing so violently that blood speckled her lips. Her body convulsed, yet her mind clung to the one thought that mattered. Keep moving. But for a moment, she couldn't. Nathan yanked her upright, his hands iron on her shoulders. His voice was brutal. Breathe later, run now. Around them, the world was madness. Reyes fired 3 rounds at shadows on the ridge. Marcus, face streaked with soot and blood, dragged a limping Leon toward what passed for cover, a shallow ravine beneath the ridgeline. Behind them, the mountain fortress belched black smoke and molten light. The compound burned, but the enemy wasn't dead. Not yet. Drones buzzed overhead. Infrared scopes lit up the night. Snipers. Bullets sliced past Samantha's head as Nathan half carried, half pulled her across the uneven ground. She heard Marcus curse over comms, then Ray's screaming coordinates. Somewhere in the chaos, Leon was hit again, the sharp, horrible sound of flesh punctured by steel. Nathan dropped Samantha behind a boulder. Stay down. He stood in front of her, rifle raised, silhouette framed against the fires behind them. I said move, she gasped. I am. And he was. Sniper fire cracked like thunder. Nathan shot back, reloading faster than thought. Above, salvation approached. The roar of helicopter blades cut through gunfire and death. Extraction. Reyes' voice somewhere between hope and exhaustion. Ropes dropping. 2 minutes. But they wouldn't survive 2 minutes if they stayed pinned. Marcus detonated charges, forcing the snipers to scatter. Reyes switched to full auto, covering the left flank. Nathan turned to Samantha, voice raw. When you see the ropes, don't stop. I can't, she whispered. You can. And when Samantha Wren locked eyes with him, she remembered who she was. She stood. And they ran. The final sprint was a nightmare stretched across seconds. Bullets tore through the air like invisible knives. Samantha ran, though every muscle begged her to fall. Her breath rasped in her throat, her pulse thundering in her skull. Nathan was at her side, firing with one hand, dragging her forward with the other. His rifle emptied. He switched to his sidearm mid-stride. No pause, no hesitation. Reyes and Marcus were ahead now, laying down suppressive fire toward the ridge. Leon limped behind them, bleeding heavily but moving, every step pure willpower. Above, the helicopter loomed larger. The sound of its blades was deafening, the only sound that mattered. Ropes unfurled like lifelines. Salvation. Samantha's vision blurred. Her steps faltered. I can't, she rasped. Nathan grabbed her arm so tightly she thought the bone might snap. You're a CEO, you never say can't. He hauled her toward the ropes. Gunfire erupted from the ridge. A sniper round tore past Nathan's head. He didn't flinch. Marcus roared orders. Reyes screamed for them to move. Leon fell. Marcus ran back for her. Samantha stared at the ropes. They were so close. Her body refused. Her mind did not. She jumped. Nathan shoved her upward. She caught the rope. Her hands blistered instantly. She didn't care. She climbed. Below her, Nathan emptied his last magazine. His sidearm jammed. He threw it away. He leapt, catching the next rope with his bare hands. Reyes and Marcus secured Liang, pulling her onto the final rope. The helicopter lifted. Rounds from the ridge chewed into the rocks below them. Samantha clung to the rope, her vision fading, her breath gone, her body destroyed. But she was alive. At last, Nathan hauled himself into the helicopter. His hands were shredded, his side was bleeding. He collapsed beside Samantha. Their eyes met. They said nothing. They didn't need to. Below them, the mountain burned. Smoke blotted out the stars. The fortress was gone. And for now, they were free.